fashion is something that I suppose has been a passion that's grown, and from quite a young age. I grew up in quite a creative sort of family. My mum's an interior designer, and my stepdad is a textile designer. And so I was always surrounded by sort of, creative things in terms of fabrics, and my mum has always had a project on the go of some sort. So I think from quite an early age I was exposed to sort of creativity, and it was a passion really that just developed from sort of about 12, 13 years old. I sort of made the decision that that's what I wanted to do. Sara Sturgeon was a fantastic opportunity working alongside her. She is a British designer, and it gave me a real opportunity to travel and really to sort of understand what the industry was about and how it all operated. And as it was sort of a small to medium-sized business, I was exposed to all areas of the business, right from design to production, sales, marketing, promotion. I was involved in sort of setting up a shop and all sorts of different projects alongside her. And that was a great opportunity, and I suppose in many respects it's given me the sort of foundations for my business here. I've always really aspired to some of the Japanese designers and creatives like sort of Yohji Yamamoto, Miyake, Comme des Garçons, and I suppose even in those early years, having sort of researched and given the opportunity to see some of those things firsthand, for sure they definitely had an influence. It's thinking about sort of creatives who are willing to look outside the box, work outside the box, and approach things in a slightly different way. And for me, those are the sort of character traits that I admire. And obviously, creativity is an important factor as well, and pushing those boundaries. I think being just in the studio, in the factory, is not necessarily the most inspiring environment to remain in. And so one of the ways actually that I do that is I'm involved at the London College of Fashion. I do some lecturing and things there. And that for me is a real lifeline, not only sort of socially in terms of meeting younger sort of up-and-coming designers, but also sort of seeing what the new thoughts and thinking and philosophies are in terms of sort of design that are coming through. And obviously I live very centrally, and so for me getting out, going to exhibitions, going to Tate Modern, taking a walk down Brick Lane, all those things for me, you're sort of continually sucking up visual references around you, which inevitably will come out in your work in some sort of way. I'm not really a designer that just does things for the sake of it. I really love to see my things being worn, and so I'm not into the whole idea of just creating something for the catwalk or a showpiece. It's very much about creating real clothes that real women can wear. I want them to feel sexy and good about themselves. I want them to feel confident and also, importantly, to feel comfortable. We live in a sort of very fast-moving world and stuff, and having clothes that can respond to those needs is important for any woman. Being true to yourself is really important, and not being sort of just pushed along with the flow or with sort of like trends that just come and go, because those things will inevitably die away. People will forget about them, and then they move on to the next sort of new thing, as it were. And for me, it was always about setting up a business that had longevity, that would sustain all of those things. And so it's being sort of, forward-thinking in terms of, well, you see yourself in one place now, but actually where do you want to be in 5, 10 years' time? Do you still want to be around? In which case, you've got to have sort of like a commercial sense. I'm obviously really very proud to be British and also essentially to be based in the capital in London. It's great that we're starting to get a bit more sort of support and coverage internationally, and I think it's a really exciting time for London-based designers. Over the last decade, I suppose, a lot of our production and skills have gone offshore, and actually it's really a time to sort of invest and focus on the talents and the skills that we have here on our home turf.